Good.
The views and opinions expressed in this show are of the host and not of Lady J Media. Thank you and enjoy the show. Hey, my name is Lady J, and I'm the owner of Lady J Media, Buddafly Entertainment. Now, don't go anywhere because we have some really great shows coming up for you. I'd like to invite you to be a part of Lady J Media. If you want to have a show, let me know. My number is 443-297-4753. Or you can email me at ladyjwub@gmail.com. That's ladyjwub@gmail.com. Don't forget to follow that butterfly because you never know where she's going to land. What up, y'all? It's time for Spitfire Poetry with your boy, John Hansboro. Sit back and enjoy.
Hey, how you doing? Oh, I can't complain, but I'm still a man. Black man, I am. I live in a land, I built things by hand. Our families were taken, our identities mistaken. For hundreds of years, we shed many tears. Although it appears that our culture doesn't respect the tradition we left. And the wisdom is stolen, placed by linoleum. Floors from the windows to the walls, where the sweat drips in the wall. I still can't complain that all my kids got things from the wall. They used to keep me tall, but they keep me going. My life was in gold. It's like I was chosen and there's no opposing.
Hello. Welcome to Spitfire Poetry. I am your host, John Hansboro. Hello, welcome to Spitfire Poetry. I am your host, John Hansboro. It is a pleasure to be here. I am so excited right now. This is Spitfire Poetry Shutdown. This is a platform that I've just started today. Well, actually, I'm wrong. Let me back up. This is a platform that I started in 2017, but now we have to do it virtually because, of course, of COVID. But with this show being an extension of what I did when I was doing the open mics of Spitfire Poetry, we'll be doing this virtually. I'm gonna switch it up a little bit. I'm gonna have guests on. Some days you'll see me have guests on that I'm interviewing. Some days it'll just be me, like probably today, maybe. I'll be reading poetry. We'll be going over different poets, local poets, published poets that are not local, that some of my favorite poets. So before we get started, I want to thank Lady J and Eric from Buddafly Entertainment. Please check them out. They're doing great things in the community and helping a lot of people right now. So definitely check them out. My name is John Hansboro again, and this is Spitfire Poetry Shutdown. I have a book from Spitfire Poetry as well. This is a collection of poems that I've written over at least the last maybe 5 years, I would say. This is available on Amazon, Spitfire Poetry. I know it's a little shiny. It's available on Amazon. You can get that on Amazon. You can get it from me on any of my social sites, Instagram, Facebook. You can hit me up and I'll make sure I can mail it to you or meet you somewhere, whatever. It's not a big deal. I appreciate all the support from everyone that supports me. I also have a book called Unusual Favor. This is a personalized book about my wife and myself, things that I went through in our life, that we went through actually in our life. But this is all about Spitfire Poetry tonight. like I said, I'm very excited because I didn't know if I was going to be able to do any more Spitfire poetry, open mics, or any of that with this COVID going on. You know what I mean? Which I think about my backdrop too. I asked my daughter though, look like I'm sitting in hell. I'm like, hey, I don't know. I look like, but I like it. Let me know if y'all like it. If you don't like it, let me know. Maybe I could change it out, do something different. You know what I mean? Wow, man, where do I begin? First off, poetry is something that I love. It is a very, it helps me in so many different ways. So I hold it very high, and I take it very seriously for myself when I'm writing because it helps you and takes you to different places. It helps you express yourself. It helps you to talk about things that you're going through, things that you want to do in life, your future, your past, whatever. You can write about just about anything. Um, well, I do anyway. Um, I've been writing since I can remember, but I never really started to take it seriously until around maybe 2012. Um, Me working all the time, I didn't really have no time to be doing a lot of writing like I do now. Um, so Spitfire Poetry is a platform when I first started it in 2017 that was an open mic. Shout out to all of my Spitfire family. It's so many. I gotta make sure I shout y'all out before this is over. But shout out to my Spitfire family. I started Spitfire my first Spitfire was at a recreation, I mean, an art museum that I really rather not say, an art gallery. Um, and it was very good. The first two times there were great. After that, I moved it to Glory Days in Towson, which was phenomenal. They have a phenomenal patio outside. At that time, COVID wasn't going on. You know what I mean? This is 2017, 18. Um, and I would have poets come through and we would just share, you know what I mean? Everyone get 15 to 45 minutes. I'm sorry, 15 minutes. Each poet would get about 15 minutes. Um, no holds barred, you know. Um, in my poetry sessions, when I do it, it's no holds barred. So I probably should give a disclaimer to let you know that you're going to hear some things on here. You're going to hear a few curse words here and there. You know what I mean? No big deal. It's not nothing you don't hear every day. So we're not going to trip off of that. Hopefully, I have a guest coming on later on before this show is over. If not, I have so much to talk about. I don't even know if I'll be able to have him. But I want to thank everyone for supporting me. I know I said that before, but I really do appreciate the support. I started this in the in the laundry room of my home, going through things emotionally and physically in my life. So I started writing, putting it on paper, and the first poem that I wrote, the first poem that I wrote. Um, God, I don't even remember the name. The first poem that I wrote, All That Shouting Isn't Necessary. They say All That Shouting Isn't Necessary was one of the first poems I've ever written. Um, and that was something that I wrote when I came home from a church that I was frequently going to at the time. Shout out to True Deliverance, Michael Wallace, my pastor there. When I was going to that church, I came home one day, one after one Sunday actually, and just started writing some things that I was feeling because of what I started writing things that I was feeling, but when I look back on it, I was writing what I was dealing with at the time, not just my feelings. I was putting everything on paper. Sometimes I make it too hard to explain, and it's just really cut and dry. You're just putting your feelings and shit on paper. You're expressing yourself on paper. Um, that first poem really helped push me to continue to share my poetry with other people because of the response that I got from when I shared that first one. I got a lot of love from people And it kind of surprised me a little bit at the time. You know, I recited that poem in my car. I was sitting in my car at the time. This was 2000 and golly, this is 2021. This was 2016, 17. Um, and I was sitting in my car, frustrated, angry about some things that were going on, mentally just tired, you know what I mean? And I recited that poem on Facebook. No, I recited that poem live, and I shared it on Facebook to a lot of my people that I have on Facebook. And I was kind of surprised at the response that I got. So that really encouraged me to continue to write um, more. You know what I mean? Then I went to a couple different churches and did some poetry there. Um, and that's another thing that really just blew me away because some of the reaction that I saw from people from just you sharing a few words that really meant something to me. I mean, it really does something to me. It makes me feel good to know that I can help somebody with something that I might say. Um, I want to share that. Let me see. Well, I got to keep minding my time so I don't go over. I want to share that first poem that I wrote. All that shouting isn't necessary. I want to share that for y'all right now so we can get this warmed up a little bit. This is all that shouting isn't necessary. They say all that shouting isn't necessary. But what have they been through that's colder than that month of February? I'm talking about news that'll make your body ache. And it's out of your control, so you feel you gotta participate. It was all good just a week ago. Now I'm in the doctor's office and they planning my treatment though. My work has come to a halt, but my bills ain't longer than a tree stump. I stand in line for aid and assistance. All the while I feel I'm losing my existence. The lady behind the desk looks at me as a stereotype, not realizing 96 hours prior, I ran a work site. I feel like my back's against the wall, so I pick up the phone, but who do I call? I was stripped of everything with nothing to spare as I laid on a cold, hard table and stared in the air. God, is this it? Will I see my wife and kids again? If I die and my babies cry, who will make them grin again? My life was saved, though it was full of sin. My doctor said, take a few of these and your pain will come to an end. But no, I must keep going. It's no time to break. But my back's against the wall and the devil don't hesitate. When he came to me to convince me of my fate, I refused to be a victim and told him, clown, you're too late. When I realized who brought me through it all, my vision became clear as he showed me a picture of it all. He said, son, didn't I tell you I would never let you fall? It was then I decided to serve him in the midst of it all. So if you see me go crazy or start to bang on a wall, it's my way of praising him because he brought me through it all. That was the first poem that I ever shared on social media, and one of the first poems that I wrote that I think is one of the best ones that I wrote. Actually, I ain't gonna lie. I put a lot of what I was going through in my life into that poem. I thank God every day for the gifts and abilities that He gives me and everyone out here, because you all got some type of gift. Don't let nobody tell you don't. Everybody's got some type of gift. It's just you got to tap into it. You got to get into it, but you have a gift. Don't let nobody tell you don't, you know. I'm going to share another poem with y'all before we get into my book, Spitfire Poetry. This one is a collection of 20 poems. Most of these are poems that I performed at my own open mic when we were able to be outside. You know what I mean? We can't even do outside anymore like we used to, but when we were able to be outside, most of the poems that are in this book is poems that I did at my open mic shows. shout out to my wife, Shalonda Hansboro, as a matter of fact. She used to help me out a lot with that. Um, so the next poem I'm going to share with y'all is, and I hope I can remember this, but I should. I'm just playing. Let's see. Forgive the Saints. We're going to do Forgive the Saints. I'm going to do Forgive the Saints and then maybe one more, and then we'll get into some of what's in this book. Okay. Forgive the Saints. Because I could care less for title or rank. That devil will deceive you. He's nothing but evil. When you're full of the Spirit, nothing comes near it. Jeremiah moaned, it's like fire in my bones when the pastor reaches a certain tone and zeroes in on the problems you own. You cried and you wept it. You came to accept it. Endure the night because that joy is unexpected. And change your heart. That's the start of something you took part. It's not fashion or art. Come into the ark and save your soul and walk streets of gold. It's about eternal life, not thousands of likes. Tell me what went wrong as we sang our song on benches with palms, and my favorite Psalms is 30, of course. I cried out, oh Lord, and you swung a sword. Now I'm beginning to see how you live in the tightest of spaces. It's all so amazing. I'm chasing after you and I'm blue. They said it was you that made it all true. So what's there to do except keep praising you? I mean, you are the reason I'm walking and breathing. Forgive the Saints. All right. Now let's get into some of what I put into Spitfire Poetry Shutdown Volume 1. That is on Amazon right now. Spitfire Poetry Volume 1. You can go on Amazon. You can go on any of my social media sites. Like I said, I'm always posting the link on I have a Spitfire Poetry page. Check that out on Facebook. And also an Unusual Favor book page on Facebook. And I am also a member of the Artist Lounge. Shout out to my brother Kevin Curry and my man Super Promoter Jay. So you can find my book on any of those pages because I'm constantly putting the links up and we're constantly sharing things together. All right. Like I said, Spitfire Poetry Shutdown Volume 1, Unusual Favor book page, Spitfire, and the Artist Lounge. Check them out on Facebook and on Instagram. Now let's get into some of what I did for this first book of Spitfire Poetry. First and foremost, I want to give a shout out to Angela Edwards at Pearly Gates Publishing. I'm going to tell y'all something. Any first-time book writers, any book writer, period, if you have a story that you want to get out and you want to get it published, contact Angela Edwards on Facebook. Pearly Gates Publishing is her publishing company. She is absolutely phenomenal. Walk me through everything. I thought I had knowledge on. She walked me through everything. All right, gave me a lot of great information. Helped me to get my book in different places. So shout out to her. Look for her, Angela Edwards. First, this book was dedicated to my father. Let's see. This book is dedicated to my first superhero, my father, John Hansboro Jr. I was blessed to have a father like him. He is truly missed. This is also dedicated to my mother for being the strong, loving woman that she is. And I have acknowledgments in this one let's read those for y'all really quick. Thank you for my wife, Shalonda, for printing out a lot of my writings and for her patience as she listened to me recite my poetry over and over again. To my brother, shout out to my brother, Victor Hansboro, to my brother and other family members and countless supporters, thank you. To my church family and a host of others who have shown me love. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, now let's get into it. Why I write. I have a page in all of my poetry books. There'll be a page in there called Why I Write. That one. Why I write, man. I haven't read this in a minute. I'm gonna read this to y'all to let you know why I write and how where I get my expression and stuff from, why I do what I do. I write for the people who cannot express themselves. I write for the people without a voice. I write for the dreamers. I write for those who can't quit even if they wanted to. I write for our future leaders. I write for any non believers. I write to motivate and encourage people to press their way through. That's why I write. That is why I write. Like I said, in this book, there's 21 poems in this book. I do have a part 2 of this book that'll be out in about a week, actually. In about a week. Shout out to Angela helping me with that book too. That'll be Spitfire Poetry Shutdown Volume 2. Excuse me. But let's get into some of what I wrote in Spitfire Poetry 1. All right, let's start off with a poet's prayer. How about that? That is actually the first page on in my book. The first poem that's in there is a poet's prayer. A poet's prayer. Let us pray. It's the Spitfire poet with unusual favor. Grab your neighbor's hand as we bow down in prayer. Father, forgive us for what we do. Our goal in life is to be just like you. We fall short so many times, and you're there with open arms no matter the crime. So much going on I don't understand. I keep reminding myself of your divine plan. An abundance of hatred expressed in the world. Couple of events lined up with the word. Division, disease, so many things we don't need. The attitude of our leaders is it's all about me. Please cover us all. Keep us safe when surrounded by so much harm. Heal the hearts that have turned cold so we can move forward and not be stuck in a season. In Jesus' name we pray and thank you for every reason. That is a poet's prayer. That is my prayer in poetry, if that makes any sense to you. But to some of my poets out there, I'm sure it does. You know, honestly, when I'm praying, I pray a different way, but a poet's prayer, that was just something that I needed for me. I really believe. It's amazing how the subconscious and things work and how things work to help heal yourself when you're doing things and you don't even realize it. You know what I mean? That you're healing yourself. So shout out to all of the wonderful poets out there too. There's a lot of wonderful poets, not just. I mean, well, really, I'm gonna be honest. This is Spitfire Poetry. I love my city. There are so many wonderful poets in the city of Baltimore. You guys really need to check them out. You know, go on all of the social media sites and just look for as many as you can because there's a lot of good poets out there who's putting some good material out there and it may can help you, you know, in something in your life. So let me read another one of my poems. Let's see. Let me see which one I want to do. Which one I want to do. Shout out to Buddafly Entertainment. Y'all are wonderful. Everybody keep watching Buddafly Entertainment. They got something going on all the time. All the time. You know what? Since we this is perfect. Oh my goodness. Since we just got rid of the chump, the orange face chump, man. I'm not even gonna say his name, but this is a poem that I wrote that's called Number 45. No, I'm not scared, and I think it's absurd that our president's words kicked us to the curb. When will they learn they just want us to burn? You turn on your TV and black men are beaten. your heart just starts grieving. This goes on all season. So we all are affected. Don't you get the message? They just dropped a bomb. Now everyone's gone. It could have been prevented. I think he's just venting. Our presidents prior were cool under fire. And what they conspire to home with a wire will leave you so tired. Is that where they riot? You for it or bias. Let's not be divided. The lines on the ground show how they kill brown people of color, even someone's mother. When she was discovered, they say she had been smothered by excessive force, and there's no remorse. Can you keep your poise among all the noise and protect your family? I know they can't stand you because I'm still standing, not going anywhere. There's no harm and no fear because my time is here. So let me be clear. I don't want to hear your words. They just sear the surface of purpose. These kids out here murking. They took an innocent person coming home from working a long day on a job, didn't expect to be robbed. And the family is scarred, writing letters to mayors. A young lion scared, don't know he's a king, won't get in the ring to settle a thing. Let's see. Let's see what else we got here. Okay. For my city, for Baltimore, I know I wrote one from the Baltimore one. Oh. This is Baltimore. What's going on, Baltimore? Are we really that far gone? I looked at social media just the other morning. A black man photo showed the homeless being forced to move. Eyesores of our city. Where's the help? It's such a pity. Nobody cares and the residents scared because crime's in the air. Reporting live on the scene is Mr. BMP13 with the latest update, and our city ain't safe. Who's here for the people? The schools have no heat. Some of them mold has set in, they so old. They close all the wrecks so our kids step in the street with the tools, not the ones using school, the prison pipeline. Y'all know I ain't lying. Where do we draw the line? Our kids the ones dying. I think it's about time our politicians earn their dime. Casinos and street racing, where they spending that bacon? Are they here for the taking and agenda they gave them? Down on your luck in my city is tough. It could be one of us that's out on the street with nothing to eat. 10 degrees, froze up from your knees, and some have special needs. Housing homeless with criminals, that's saying something subliminal. And yeah, it's that simple. We got blocks full of vacant houses. And we can't program housing? Astounding. The stink of corruption smells, pure in a nutshell, like a truck full of trash. That's a smell you can't mask. That is Baltimore. I got another one that I want to share. Let's see if my guest hit me up. I don't think my man hit me. Wait a minute. We may have my guest on. Let me see what this is. Like I said, check out Buddafly. Check out Buddafly Entertainment. For all of my shows are on Buddafly Entertainment. Spitfire Poetry, the Unusual Favor show that I do with my lovely wife. Shout out to Shalonda Hansboro. And the Artist Lounge that I do with my brother Kevin Curry and my man Super Promoted Jay. All right. So my man should be calling me in a few minutes. So hopefully we can get him on. My guy Malachi is another poet that I met. I met Malachi actually when I was doing my open mic events and I was sharing flyers. I was making my own flyers and sharing them on my pages. And he would hit me up. He hit me up on Instagram actually, and wanted to come to one of my open mics. And I'm like, sure, come on. You know what I mean? You don't have to have no specific things. Just come on and spit. That's what it's all about. You know what I mean? Come in and spit what's on your mind. Good brother. You know what I mean? I never was able to have him come to one of my open mic events, but hopefully we'll have him on the show tonight. All right. Now, I got a poem that I wrote. I don't know. I don't think it's in this one. Hold I'm not sure if it's in. I don't think I put that one in this one. No, no, I didn't put that in this one. Um, but I do want to share a poem that I wrote called "My Pencil and Me." This is my pencil and me. This is out of the book Spitfire Poetry, Volume 1. Spitfire Poetry Shutdown, Volume 1. Available on Amazon, as you see on that little ticket tape right there. Doo-doo-doo, going by. All right, my pencil and me. My pencil and me, my pencil and me feels so good when we together. Comforts me like a warm sweater. Cable's lit, but I ain't watching it. My pencil and me, we got places to be. I got issues, you see, so my pencil bleeds and speaks when I don't want to talk. My pencil strikes up conversation, creates energy, and keeps me with the inner me so I can express myself frequently. I keep him close. His nickname is Toast. He spits fire that will heat your ass up. Tangeray in your chest, I'm not the one to test. And not confess that I've slipped and I have fallen, but I got up and I kept brawling. My pencil and me a dynamic duo because three's company only when my pen feels jealousy. So she rides shotgun and the pencil's in the trunk. The mechanical pumps cannons till it's empty. Then I grab the lead and reload again. Automatic fire, rapid shots are heard, sounds are heard for blocks. I'm sorry, alert neighborhood watch. There's a shooting spree and anyone can get it. Keep your vest, I'll send it to your fitted. Thought he was a terror, so I ripped through his new era. Watermelon splatter like Gallagher on stage with the hammer and full of stamina. My pencil and me go everywhere together. Nobody knows me better. Finishes my letters, settles all my disputes. When I write, I put you on mute. Your spirit I rebuke like a funky green rash just makes me want to puke. My pencil and me been through it, you see. Puts me on one knee, so I pray faithfully. Lord, keep me covered. You know I don't like them buzzards. Just a ball of bad energy. Send them to a new century. My pencil and me will continue our quest until God says enough and puts me to rest. My pencil and me. Is this my guess? I don't think so. All right, maybe he should be on shore of me. Okay. Yes, that was my pencil and me. All that shouting isn't necessary is in this book too. That's that first poem that I ever wrote. I put that in this book. Wow, anxiety. I'm going to read another one to you guys. This one is called I Can't Complain. This one is called I Can't Complain, also out of Spitfire Poetry Shutdown, Volume 1. Okay. I can't complain. Let me get a sip of water there. It's getting a little dry. Get a little dry sometimes, my mouth, do a lot of talking and things. So, gotta keep that moisture going on so you can keep it going. This is I Can't Complain. Hey, how you doing? Oh, I can't complain, but I'm still a man, a black man I am. I lived in a land, I built things by hand. In conflict I stand, our families were taken and our identities mistaken. For hundreds of years we shed many tears, although it appears our culture doesn't respect the tradition we left. And the wisdom was stolen, replaced by linoleum floors, from the windows to the walls, to the sweat drips and I'm bald. I still can't complain. And both my kids want things from the mall. They only a few feet tall. They keep me going. My life with them golden. It's like I was chosen and there's no opposing. I understand the mission, but can't see it. Vision. Pew in the system smells like something's missing. That old intuition takes the kid fishing. Anything so they listen before they make a mistake that puts them in prison. The cycle was real. Your uncles come home, your nephews go in, do a bullet get out, and repeat the cycle again. I can't complain. So I'm not going to read. I may read one more. Oh, I got to share this one. This is when we were going through that craziness with the government shutdowns. When Number 45 was doing the government shutdowns back then. Um, it was just so ridiculous. It's like all I was watching was CNN, just like everybody else, CNN, Fox, and MSNBC. All I was watching all of these different um, channels, and the news was almost like watching a TV drama, at the time. Oh, we got my man. We got my man in. The news was like a TV drama at the time. So Malachi.
Hey, what's going on, Mr.
My,
John?
my man, Malachi's in the house, everybody. Oh man, it's good to hear from you, bro. How are you, man?
Oh, pretty good, man. How you?
Man, I can't complain, man. I'm doing really well. I'm above ground. I'm doing good, man. You know what I mean? Man, I just want to say it's a pleasure to have you. You were the first guest on my Spitfire Poetry Shutdown show. You're the first guest, and I would like to tell the people before you get into some of your poetry really quick. I wanted to tell the people how I met you. I was doing the Spitfire Poetry, like I said, open mics outside, and I would put my flyers on Instagram and Facebook. And this brother hit me one day, was like, man, I want to come through and bless your open mic and come and do some poetry. And I was like, come on through. You know what I mean? Well, unfortunately, we never got to hook up, but we always stayed in touch. I appreciate you for that too, Malak. I want to let you know that we always stayed in touch, man. And I've been following what you're doing. This brother is doing a lot of great stuff in poetry. Look him up. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Malachi, and where people can find you before I have you grace us with maybe 2 poems really quick.
Hey, I really appreciate it. Malachi Spoken Words on Instagram. I'm at Vern, VERN_Hardy. And it still comes up under Malachi Spoken Words. On Spotify, I got a couple things under Malachi Spoken Words, SPOKING words. And Facebook, the same thing, Vern Hardy. But yeah, man, I kind of like, it was kind of weird how I met you, because I met you through my man James Green. And we just tapped in, and, I've never got to come out there during the day. And he passed away, unfortunately, through this pandemic, RIP.
I'm sorry to hear that. Do I know James Green? I don't know if I'm
ever him or his son. They did a lot. They did a lot down there at what was that? The Enoch Pratt Library.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he was shooting the movie, and unfortunately, like a month or two ago, he passed away. And it was always like 1 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, which was a bad day. But yeah, I kind of regret not making it. And then, but yeah, rest in peace to him.
Absolutely. I'm sorry to hear that, man. Hear that.
Yeah, this pandemic been crazy, man. But we're blessed to still be here, man. He had told me he was having some complications, but I don't want to go into all of that.
Right, I understand. Hey, let me ask you, how have you been doing in this pandemic? How's things going on with you, man?
Oh man, I've been blessed so far, man. Still living. It's like I don't know if I had it or not. Sometimes you have shortness of breath. Like when it first started, me being in Boston, I thought I might have had it, but I never really. Other than that, though, I've been out the way, man. I've just been moving pretty good. I kind of like lockdown and go to work and all of that. Been jumping rope. A lot of things just fell in order. A lot of natural herbs and all of that. So I haven't really seen too much of it. I haven't had a hit other than James too close to me.
Mm-hmm.
Not really that I can think of now, because not yet anyway. Keep your fingers crossed. But yeah, it's kind of messed up though, man. I don't like it at all.
Yeah, that's good that you're taking precautions to take care of yourself, though, man. Definitely. So what do you have any projects out right now, or do you have any poetry where people are able to go and view it or pick it up on like YouTube or anything like that?
Yeah, I actually got under my YouTube, it's the same thing. I want to say it's Vern Hardy or Vernell Hardy, but my songs is on Spotify. They all on YouTube. They all on Instagram. Yeah, I recorded a lot that I uploaded on Spotify. The Malachi spoken word. Malachi is just like a messenger. You know, I try to keep it positive.
Absolutely.
So what I do is about a positive movement. You know, my biggest one, No Love, which I thought you might want to hear today, or you might want to hear a little excerpt from. And I got one called Heartless I really, really like. But man, I got a whole book. I got a whole book, and I got another book coming. So, you know, it's just like one of them things, man, where it's a slow process. And when the pandemic hit, it kind of slowed it down a little bit.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, but I got a book called Spectrums of Life on Amazon Kindle. And
go get that, everybody. Spectrums of Life on Amazon. You got it in the Kindle version?
Yeah, it's on Amazon KDP, should I say. The Amazon KDP.
Yep.
It's just one of the things you go on there. It's just a ebook. My next one is going to be Pandemonium, but you're going to cross out the Pandemonium with a mic, and it's going to be an audio book. So, you know, I'm crossing out the mic Pandemic, cross out the mic Pandemonium, and it's going to be an audio book. And then just working on a couple novels and a couple things like that. But
yeah, I follow you, man. I follow you on Instagram, so I see that you're doing a lot of things. You stay busy, you know what I mean, doing a lot. Right before I get you to spit some poetry for me real quick, where do you get your, like, when you write, where does that come from for you? Like, do you have a routine that you do, or when you're writing, do you really write mostly, you know, a lot of things that you're going through, what you've been feeling, things of that nature?
A lot of it just be like spontaneous. A lot of it, you know, it's really not even a method to it. It's just, I'll be sitting around, and then, you know, I might see something, or something might happen, or a lot of it is like stuff I've already seen.
Right.
You know, and I might even look at the news, and I might see something, I might think back about something, but a lot of it is just, it's no method to it. Even when I write books, I'm like a freelance writer.
Right.
You know, I never really make an outline and all of that.
Right.
Once I get inspired, or once I feel like it, I ain't gonna say once I feel like it, but once, you know, it's that time, it just comes to me. It's kind of weird. So it's not even a method. Like, I can just sit around.
That's a true gift right there, though, bro.
Yeah, and just start coming down with something. But then, you know, sometimes I might want to, and then it ain't good. But my best stuff is like stuff that I didn't even mean to write. It's like stuff that while I'm writing it, I don't know what I'm doing. It just won't come together.
I feel you.
I got a lot of stuff. I got one called Take This Pain Away. It's about suicide and pill addiction. And that's the classic example, you know.
Right.
I pop pills, like, not pop pills like really, really been addicted to it, but I pop pills like through years of injuries and all of that.
Got you.
But, you know, it's kind of like killing two birds with one stone, because pill addiction is real prevalent. A lot of people ODing on pills. A lot of people commit suicide. And this was before the pandemic.
Right.
People doing stuff like that. And, you know, I just was writing. And next thing I know, you know, it all came to that. And just like you hit two things in one, and then you hit some motivational at the end of it, which is a message telling people, hey, look, you can overcome stuff. You know, you don't always got to go and blow your brains out like I did in the thing, or you don't always got to go, well, I OD'd in the thing, but you don't always got to OD, or you don't always got to do that. You know, fight through it. It's brighter days ahead.
Right.
It's kind of weird, because then you meet people, and then, you know, a lot of them come out of it.
Right.
I got what I wanted to do for you today called No Love, if you would let me.
Yeah, let's do it, man. This is what it's about. I was just getting ready to ask you. Go ahead and bless us with something, man. So whenever you're ready, go right ahead. This is my man Malachi. Check him out on Facebook, Instagram. Look him up. This is a wonderful poet, Malachi. Check him out.
I'm going to end it. I'm going to change it in the middle. It's called, I say it ain't no love in these cities.
Okay.
It ain't no trust. There's not enough. Can you feel me? See, now I can perceive this all clearly. It was a bunch of youngers with drums and sticks, and we would drill shit quickly. All we knew was to come from nothing and replenish it quickly. My Heavenly Father, forgive me. Even if you do, these niggas gonna kill me. To see the streets, they hate me. They talking filthy, but with lead, they gonna fail me. But if they do, some of the guys coming with me. That's got me feeling so guilty. See, I maneuver so swiftly into a Jewish state. I want to move, get a Bentley. But on the other side of things, I'm being watched evidently, and the penitentiary slipped out of my thoughts. So now, Lord, I come to you because I'm seriously lost. My flesh is weak and next to be a spiritless corpse. I must confess my sins and repent sincerely. that's in the air and it awaits me clearly. I know there's a way that I can escape what's written. See, I've been sinning, but now I'm making decisions to change my life. I always heard Jesus would come like a thief in the night. You know how thieves remove things from sight. But I'm asking you, please grant forgiveness. Because I've been living this way for so long, I doubt I can make the transition. I know it takes faith, but still with your wisdom. The streets have no love, but God loves his children. It's unconditionally. You know what never made sense to me? How tragic events formulate instantly. Yet we need spiritual growth. You see, time is of the essence of what matters the most. So show love rather than keeping your enemies close. Because when the smoke clears, will it be your hopes that went up in flames? Or will your loss will be someone else's gain? Just try to maintain in a society that's material driven. So just the car you drive or the house that you live in, it means more to salvation. It's the times of revelations when the adversary puts his mark on his nation. I sit alone in darkness of contemplation with my mask on, trying to rebuke spirits from Satan. And that was before, like, the pandemic and all that. When I say my mask, that was before. That's like you going out, you robbing somebody. It's like the toss and turn between good and evil.
Right.
When I upload it, it's more street. It's not going to have that prayer at the end of it. It's more street, and that's the one that's on Spotify. Can I give you one more before we go ahead and check out?
Absolutely, man. Go ahead.
I say, I was staring in the mirror. Telling myself that you got to do better. You got to endeavor to make things right. Instead of overthinking, I had to take things light. See, I struggled to find solutions. It came up with excuses. So we're all inclusive. Like when the weather's clear and the atmosphere seems all the more better. Next flight out of Baltimore, catch it. See, I was coming up short in several aspects. No godly presence to get things accomplished. Imagine being an accomplice to a crime that wasn't committed. In a trial, you wasn't acquitted. You viewed a life as another statistic, alone at night, praying for forgiveness. The time you're paying is for what? Them indictments sticking. This half some life becomes a trifle and a sick, and instead he became enticed to religion. See, the prayers for the righteous are with him. God is rightfully with him. God him spiritually precise with his wisdom. See, numerous lives faced with desperation, pertaining to situations through living with limited options given. Retracing thoughts so vivid it pierces my soul. And then it all becomes so clear. Unlike to the surface appear, love had a presence, which was undetected. Entering schools through metal detectors. No one detectives had to ask 3 questions. Live by the sword, you learn a lesson. See, at times it's fatal. Other times are relayed through a system confined to corrections, harsh sentences with no compassion. There lies a fraction of hope. I viewed this life through a scope and was asking for actually a new beginning, a new dimension, an exit strategy implemented to instill wisdom. So that's instrumental in this game of life. Because the streets has overtaken too many, they feel forsaken. It's like life is passing them by and they just sitting there waiting. A lot of things are deliberation. That their judgment shall come, as well as image from the place where they're from. So it's the same repetitive process, cycling young as the progress through night. Flipping packet, if they can't sleep right, who can equate? These years for crimes, not violence, and by the floors, by race. They say the motive skin deep, yet these soldiers, they keep loading the streets with dope and guns, and you know where to reach to you. And the truth, the absence of father figures, to some of the savages who ravage the street with cold-hearted killers. It goes on and on and on, but I'm gonna have to leave it there, man. I'm kind of like riding down the road. This is messed up because it hit on this day in which I was thinking it was Thursday, so then I had to go on to it. But I say, it's logically the target for those opposed, carrying poles in darkness is the episode of the Heartless. But yeah, man, I mean, I want to do it once this. Hopefully, all of this clears up and we can really, really go on. We can really, I can show you some different stuff.
Yeah, man. If this pandemic is really putting a damper on a lot of shit, man. Because I would love to be able to be out there doing it, but this won't be the last time I'm gonna have you on, man. This is something that I wanna do to let everyone express themselves on this platform. You know what I mean? I feel like poetry is important, man. I really do, because that shit is therapy for me. It helps me in a lot of different ways, most definitely. Malachi, I appreciate you for coming on, man. I know you out there working hard, busy. I don't want to hold you up. I want you to be careful out there on them roads and be safe. Continue to take those precautions, man, to take care of yourself and your family, man. I appreciate you, definitely, brother.
Man, thank you, man. It's all my pleasure, man. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Okay.
Absolutely, man. I'll be talking to you. I'll give you a call in a few days, definitely. All right, that's my man Malachi. Wow, that's crazy, man. I'm glad he hit me up and was able to come on. Um, like I said, I met that brother on Instagram, just sending messages when I was doing my Spitfire poetry thing. So I want to get to the close of my show. We're winding down right now. Um, I want to thank you for tuning in. I want to thank Lady J and Eric at Buddafly Entertainment. I want to thank a lot of people because, I want to thank Lady J. I want to thank Leroy McKenzie. I want to thank Ahmed Rana. These are people that I've just met that have influenced me to do different things and to take my platform to a different level. They really have pushed, especially Lady J. She's pushing me to do what I'm doing, and it really feels good. It really feels good. So this is Spitfire Poetry Shutdown. My next show, I don't know. We may have a guest on like we did tonight. We may have 5 guests on at one time. You never know. All right. So make sure you look out for me. I'll be coming to you very soon with the next show. Remember, love on somebody, keep encouraging somebody. Um, Encourage yourself, love yourself, do a lot of self-care because you need it. This is a rough time that we're in right now, and if you don't take the proper precautions to take care of yourself, you know it could be not just physically, it can mess you up mentally. You know what I mean? So I want to give a shout out to everyone for supporting me and buying my books on Usual Favor and my books on Usual Favor and Spitfire Poetry Shutdown Volume 1. Volume 2 will be out in about a week or two. Both of these books you can get on Amazon, as you see right there on that tip of cake. All right. So I want to thank y'all for coming. I appreciate you. I love and appreciate the support from each and every one of you. Please be safe out there. All right. Thank you.
Hey, how you doing? Oh, I can't complain, but I'm still mad. Black man, I am. I lived in a land I built things by hand. Our families were taken, our identities mistaken. For hundreds of years, we shed many tears. Although it appears that our culture doesn't respect the tradition we left. And the wisdom is stolen, placed by linoleum. Floors from the windows to the walls, and the sweat drips in the wall. I still can't complain, and all my kids want things from the wall. They want a few feet tall.